You've seen it, right? That flood of images that are just a little too perfect? Those video clips that feel off? That's the new reality of our feeds. It's just packed with AI content. And honestly, it's getting tougher and tougher to know what's real anymore. And it turns out people are starting to get tired of it. So let's just start with one number that says it all: 26%. That is the percentage of consumers today who actually prefer AI-generated content from creators. Now, here's the wild part. Just last year, in 2023, that number was 60%. That is not a small dip, my friends. That is a nosedive. It's a sign that something big is shifting online. And that really brings us to the central question we're going to dig into. If AI gives everyone the power to create flawless, perfect, polished content with the click of a button, then why are we seeing this huge, growing demand for the exact opposite? For the real, the imperfect, the human messiness of it all. It's a paradox, and it's completely reshaping what we value. Look, this is way bigger than just a few weird pictures online. We are smack in the middle of a full-blown AI authenticity crisis. The basic idea that seeing is believing has been fundamentally broken. And when you can't trust what you see, well, you need a whole new set of rules. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote from Becky Owen over at Billion Dollar Boy just hits the nail on the head. She says, consumer sentiment is roaring against AI. They hate it. That's not a quiet little shift, right? That's a loud, clear backlash against the AI overload we've all been feeling. So to really understand what's at stake here, we have to talk about the technology that kind of sparked this whole firestorm in the first place: deepfakes. Put simply, these are AI-made videos, images, or audio files built from the ground up to look totally real. They can be used to spread lies, commit fraud, or create incredibly damaging and false depictions of actual people. This is the stuff that made everybody sit up and go, whoa, okay, we have a problem. So, what do we do about it? Well, this slide breaks down the two main ways people are thinking about labeling AI. On one hand, you have impact-based labels. Think of these like a warning sign. They're there to tell you if the content could be harmful or deceptive. On the other hand, you've got process-based labels. These are more like an ingredients list, just letting you know that AI was part of the creative process. It's a huge debate. Should we be warned or should we just be informed? All right, so let's get into the first major solution that's emerging. And it's a really powerful one, because it shifts the focus from just the content to the actual people in it. It's all about giving creators tools to protect their own digital identity. And YouTube is really at the forefront of this with a brand new tool they call likeness detection. It works in 4 pretty simple steps. First, a creator verifies who they are. Second, YouTube's system starts scanning the entire platform for their face or their voice. Third, if it finds a match, that video pops up for review in their YouTube studio. And fourth, the creator gets to decide what to do. They can ask for it to be taken down, file a copyright claim, or just ignore it. It literally puts the power back into their hands. Now, here's a really crucial point. This new system is totally different from YouTube's old Content ID. Content ID was all about protecting media ownership, like your song or your video clip. Likeness detection is about protecting your identity, your actual face, and your voice. It's a massive shift from protecting property to protecting your personhood. Okay, so protecting people is one piece of the puzzle, but what about the content itself? That brings us to the second major front in this fight for what's real: the race to develop new, really sophisticated digital watermarks. And listen, these are not the clunky watermarks you're used to seeing splashed across a photo. We are talking about invisible watermarks. These are technical signals that are embedded right into the file itself. You can't see them, I can't see them, but special algorithms can. And these algorithms can read that signal and tell you exactly where the content came from and whether it was made with AI. It's basically a hidden digital signature. So how does this magic actually work? Well, a lot of these systems use something called a cryptographic hash. The best way to think about it is like a unique, unfakeable digital fingerprint for a piece of content. If someone changes even a single pixel of that image, that fingerprint breaks, instantly proving it's been messed with. It's an incredibly powerful way to verify authenticity. So the technology is there, but how are the big platforms actually putting it to use? Well, as you can see from this chart, it's kind of all over the place. Meta, TikTok, YouTube, they all have their own different labels, their own different rules for when creators have to fess up about using AI. Right now, there is no single standard across the industry. It's a bit of a free-for-all. And that confusion leads to an even bigger problem. While the tech companies are taking their own steps, the law is just struggling to keep up. Take the UK, for example. There's still no specific law that says AI-generated content has to be labeled at all. And that kind of gap in the rules makes it really, really hard to create a system that actually works for everyone. So, we've covered the tech and the policy, but now let's talk about what might be the most powerful force driving this change: the huge cultural swing away from AI perfection and back towards something a lot more human. And this chart, it just brings that number we talked about at the beginning into sharp focus. That preference for AI creator content has absolutely cratered. This isn't just a minor shift in taste, it's a deep rejection of what a lot of people see as soulless, low-effort stuff. People are literally voting with their eyeballs. And this quote from Lisa Singelin just perfectly explains why this is happening. Brands are finding out that after this tidal wave of AI perfection, what people are desperate for is just reality. The unmade bed, the clothes on the floor, the hair that's not perfect, those aren't mistakes to be edited out anymore. They've become signals of authenticity. Messiness is the new premium. And the creators themselves are leading this charge. Why? Well, a few big reasons. They feel like AI outsources their creativity. It doesn't boost it. They see their audiences feeling totally unsatisfied with what people are now calling AI slop. They want to prove that what they do is a real craft. And, a lot of established creators are starting to see it like the last big tech hype, cryptocurrency. A ton of noise, but not a lot of real, lasting value. So you put all this together, the new tech, the public backlash, the policy debates, and it's clear we're at a huge crossroads. We are right now deciding the future of what's real online. So what's coming next? Well, on the legal front, all eyes are on the European Union. Their big EU AI Act is supposed to bring in strict new rules for AI transparency starting in August 2026. But as you can see, progress is slow. There's already talk of pushing the deadline to 2027. It just goes to show you, writing the rules for reality is a really complicated business. And all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. As artificial intelligence gets so good that it's truly impossible to tell the difference, what's going to matter more? Our technical ability to spot the fake, or our deeply human desire to find and create and connect with what is actually real? The answer to that is going to